Hey, and welcome to the Vergecast at CES 2014, day whatever. I'm Josh Topolsky.
I'm Nilay Patel.
I'm Thomas Ricker.
He is Thomas Ricker. We have the delightful, the illustrious, the sexual, the handsome, the manly, the feminine Thomas Ricker here with us. Thomas,
Can I go now?
you've come all the way from.
Thomas has been very resistant.
You've come all the way
from
the weed haze of Amsterdam
to the weed haze of Las Vegas.
to the weed haze of to the cocaine haze of Las Vegas.
Speaking of which,
Oh no,
get
what's
this off.
happening?
Do you have a bomb?
No,
You got a
What-
joint
what
for
is
us? Let's
killing
do
me?
it.
By the
Let's
way,
spark up right here.
This is made out of hemp.
Yeah, of course it is.
It seriously is.
It's called sativa too, which is amazing. Thomas, wearing your
Why do you
Amsterdam.
have like a young woman's like rave wallet from 1994?
I know, really. Chain wallet.
Actually, my children got it for me
chain
for
wallet.
Christmas.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding.
his weed chain wallet.
Like that thing was the hottest seller at Hot Topic in '96.
That is a sick and also true burn. You're really wearing your Amsterdam residency on your sleeve here, in your wallet,
Thanks.
in your pocket.
Thanks.
Anyhow, Thomas Ricker is, of course, our.
It's nonstop. You cannot.
he's our
You
man.
cannot get over the fact that I live in Amsterdam.
He's our man in Europe.
How is it possible?
He
How are
apparently.
you alive and not
apparently-
stoned?
Yeah, how are you here? Are you getting the shakes? Do you need to get?
No, I'm
get
okay.
fixed?
Okay.
So anyhow, this is our. So first off, let's clear the air because there's a huge haze of weed in here. Thanks to Thomas. This chair's just rolling out of the. Okay, it's fine. Everything is fine. This is actually an early after hours for us. On the East Coast, I would classify this as after hours. On the West Coast, this godforsaken show is still happening, and all around
never
us,
stop.
people are juggling. They're riding electronic skateboards. They're flying on drones. I just saw Rick Rubin float out of a window, and it's been
Too big for that.
no, he's trimmed down a little bit.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah. It's so this is the Vergecast After Hours, but we're still within hours. We're still in hours.
It feels early to me.
It is
Are
early.
we really done with the
No, this
show?
is it. This will be our final Vergecast for the show because
Shocking.
because we have to break down the studio. Friday is like the breakdown day here,
Mm-hmm.
and we wouldn't have a place to do it.
Yeah.
It would just be like us Skyping
Us in a
somebody's
car
hotel
parking
room.
lot.
Yeah, or hotboxing in the car.
Yeah.
Thanks to the sweet weed that Thomas brought over from Amsterdam. And yeah, so we thought, we're not gonna talk about the show that much. We're gonna talk about our experience.
We have to talk about it a little bit. I mean, I
Well,
finally
we're
got
gonna
out
talk
to the
about it
floor
later.
today.
You haven't had a chance to talk about it. Tell me about, Thomas, bring a fresh perspective to what you've seen this week.
It's kind of hard to give a fresh perspective. I mean, this is what, my 10th year coming here, or something
really?
like that. I don't know. It's. I think I'm longer than you. Definitely longer than you.
Yeah.
In
Wow.
many ways.
It's the quote of the show, everyone.
Longer than you, definitely longer than you. And we're both, yep. That's true. That's true. I won't deny it.
I don't know. To me, I'm trying to get excited about it. I mean, for me, the best part is just being here with the team. 'Cause the entire team is here.
I honestly think that's always the best part. But sometimes, like, the stuff going on is more fun than other times.
I mean, it's exciting. There's little things that we're finding. There's, weirdly, this little Polaroid cube camera that I saw.
You like those?
I like the design. It's a totally non-functioning prototype. It's a plastic shell.
Yeah.
And everybody freaked out about it because we took some really beautiful
No, but my
photos.
favorite product CS last year was a non-functioning
Yeah.
shell as well.
was
I think,
that?
like it was Sony's Circle with a Light Blu-ray or HD.
And what happened to that? They didn't show that
This
again
year it's a square. It's like, thanks, Sony. I had one dream and you squared it off.
It's the aspirational Sony showing you what they're capable of. We could turn a circle into a square.
But you did something that Josh and I didn't do. You went to all of the big vendor chaos,
Right.
like shit show exhibits that
Right.
they have.
Right.
What's that like? It's weird. That used to be the biggest part of the news cycle.
Yeah, I mean,
And now
that's-
we just don't go because we send so many other people.
Those things are hugely stressful. Which camera? This one?
You could just talk to us.
Those are hugely stressful. I mean, you guys know. I think one year we kind of took it a little haphazard and we got behind on the coverage and wasn't so great. So then I somehow ended up taking over and running this massive team of writers and now video crew over to these events.
Yeah.
And it's insane. They line us up. It's like hundreds of journalists that are lined up in a shoot. Then they open the door and say, go. And then you have 100 vendors lined up around the corners, all showing off products, many for the first time. And you have to go in there and you have to figure out, well, what's important, what's not, and you have to quickly filter all that stuff out, of course, because we're racing other people.
Right.
And then you have to do it in a quality way.
Right.
Yeah. And Stern is just there with a vibrating fork, destroying the coverage.
Also. And this goes on for 3 days in a row. So you can imagine, I've been to like 30 of these.
Yeah, you have somehow gotten I mean, I guess it's because you're so organized and so great at your job, but like, as a result, you're in charge of
I'm that guy now.
running the teams that go to these events, and it's just like, it becomes just a question of, it's like getting a battle plan.
Yeah.
It's not even, it doesn't, in the moment, it's not like journalism. It's like, suddenly things have been made available to you to look at. You have to decide on the spot, is this interesting? What is it? Like, what is it? What does it do? Is it interesting? Have we covered it? Do we need to cover it? How much coverage do we need to do? And that all happens like minute to minute.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're competing with every other journalist in the world. Here we are working. Is it unveiled?
Yeah.
CES unveiled?
That's just a video.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a blur. Yeah, it's unveiled.
I mean, and it's just like, it's a crazy.
It's a nightmare. And it
crazy
gets
job.
kind of weird every year because this is where the first stories of CES break.
Right. That's the first press-related event.
But there weren't, I have to say, there weren't many stories this year that came out of those.
No, there were
events.
small things.
Some small things. Yeah, the Polaroid camera was at one of those, right?
Yeah, the Polaroid camera was there. There was a giant e-ink clock, which is like 3 meters wide and hangs up on your clock. It sounds great, and normally you would think e-ink, okay, that's really visible, and I'm going to be able to see it, especially up on a white wall. But when it's off, it's actually grayscale, and when it's on, it's just a darker gray. And so you really can't even tell the time. And it costs like $500.
Yeah.
But if they get the technology right, then I think it's going to be. I mean, I liked it. I think it was beautiful.
Right.
But yeah, I also want to be able to tell the time, so I don't think I'm going to be getting one.
Time is very important to you.
Time is relative. I actually never set my watch. It's actually really
Are you
hilarious.
joking? You're joking.
I never set my watch.
Are you kidding me?
I still check the time on my
So
phone.
you don't know the time it's on,
Well,
right?
it's on East Coast time, but I can never like.
Oh, you
land
didn't
it
say
and
it,
then
yeah.
like, change it.
I actually have like I'll have a rule, like if I go somewhere for like 2 days, I don't set it. I'm just going to stay on East Coast time. But like this, we're
changed
here a week, there's no way I can't change it, I mean, I can't believe you haven't changed yours. But you don't look at it.
I look at my
You don't
phone.
look at it, you're all right.
I'm always around.
I assume
clocks,
you
so
don't wear a watch, do you?
No, just check my phone.
You should have a chain wallet and a pocket watch. Would be an appropriate addition. You know, 2 chains.
Then I have to wear tweets,
You should
double-breasted,
listen to-
3D suit.
Listen to a lot of
Everything
two
should be
chains.
attached to you by a chain. You should get a chain laptop, chain tablet.
By the way,
chain
do you
tablets?
remember?
Like little tablets on chain.
Oh, you don't remember this, but earlier today I made a joke about an Airbus 320, A320 having, and I made up some fake thing that I had like this dual hydraulic something or other. So somebody tweeted me, and apparently like it actually has the thing that I made up. Like, it's really weird. I was like, oh, it's a 320 with it, and I was like pretending like I knew a lot about planes, unrelated to everything that we're talking about right now. So. What's your thing of the show? Is it the Polaroid Cube?
No, definitely not. I mean, okay, let's talk about Polaroid for a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it's a fascinating. First of all, it's not a company. You know that. It's a shell, right? It's a brand. It's a brand.
Right.
And the brand.
It's a name.
It's a name, and the name gets licensed out to whoever wants it, which is fascinating because you pick up one Polaroid product and you think, oh, this is a piece of shit, right? And in fact, most of them are.
Yeah.
But they actually have nothing to do with each other. You just license the name, and then you go off and you manufacture it with whoever you want.
They have a Polaroid booth here.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
In fact, it
it's
seemed
really
like there were
sad.
2 of them.
Can I?
Is that the Shell company?
Yeah, I mean, it's a shell company, and you know what's really weird with these? The
Great headline, by the way.
Yeah.
You read
Mine-
the post?
That's my headline.
Is it? Inexpensive but cheap.
Yeah, I mean, there's cheap crap everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Polaroid booth is particularly like egregiously cheap crap.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody didn't get the.
But they
whoever
had,
bought
they had
the
a
brand.
nice looking booth last year.
It's a nice looking.
Yeah.
No, they
get
play
that.
up the nostalgia a lot. So
Right.
they have a lot of the old Instamatic cameras in the booth.
Right.
And
like old Polaroids and
Yeah,
stuff.
and then it's just like
Yeah.
the most, absolutely the worst tablet, just like.
right, so they play
Such
up on
a
that.
bummer.
They
It's
play
a-
up on that tradition, but what is there now is nothing. Has absolutely nothing to do with that
But
history.
this is the year where they're trying to reclaim, like
With
from
just that one
Instagram. From
camera.
Instagram, they're trying to reclaim their like Polaroidiness.
Maybe. I mean, that was also a shell. The
thing, the,
Instamatic was that? I think that's what it's
yeah.
called. That was also a shell. A little
There it
square.
is.
No, that's the
So
cube.
so
That's
adorable.
a little cube camera.
But there's a bigger one that we've seen before. It was pre-announced, I think.
We
2
see
or 3
the
months ago.
Instagram camera. It's literally the Instagram icon.
It's called the Socialmatic.
Yeah,
Oh, the Socialmatic, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
It looks exactly like the Instagram icon if it were turned into a product.
But you know, it's like weird about these. It's like whatever you made it. It's great. It's got a Z-Ink printer in it, or
Right.
Zinc, or whatever they call it. Like here it is.
There it is.
Yeah,
That's cool. You know what?
insane.
You know what it isn't though.
And if you
It's like-
scroll down, you can see the old leather case. Now that I've got an old Polaroid in a closet back home, and it has that exact leather case. You know,
Yeah.
flips over the top and comes
Yeah.
off and then hangs there when you try to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
They're really preying upon that tradition. Now I don't know. Maybe it'll be phenomenal. Maybe
No,
it'll be
it won't.
amazing.
It can't be. But what would be cool is
Well,
if.
it's a different company. This guy claims he's going to be manufacturing with Foxconn.
Oh, really?
So that's like, you know,
Manufacturing's not the issue. It's the design.
I mean,
and how much
Foxconn
money
will be
they're-
like, you pay us a little bit of money and we'll make a crappy
Right. I mean,
product.
the question is like, how
Foxconn
much,
makes HP laptops and MacBooks.
I
Like,
know.
I mean, that's a great, very cogent point. Like, perfect example. I mean, it's like how much design was put into it. What are the optics like? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
Is it going to be a good
Yeah,
camera?
and they're
or are
not
they like,
listing any
well, it's a
detailed
crappy
specs.
camera, but it does like it has.
but
it
you know-
develops the film weird.
but like, you know, people don't want to do is like take a picture and print it, right?
Yeah.
Like, they want to share it to social networks.
Does it have a screen on it?
I don't think so. It definitely doesn't in this iteration,
I don't
Yeah.
know. That doesn't.
which is a plastic box, remember.
That doesn't feel like a win. So, what did you really like?
I guess there is a nostalgic hit for me, and that was the WebOS TV. I finally went into the LG's booth, which is magnificent, by the way. You come in off the main concourse, and there's this enormous multi-panel 3D experience, and there's all these people laying down on the ground and staring up at it. I mean, have you been over to the
I've been
main
by
concourse
it.
yet?
I haven't been through. All
It's
of
amazing
it.
because it's the first thing you see as you're walking through the main hall, the main corridor of the central hall, and so it draws you in. And then if you continue down their path, then you come across the WebOS experience, which is they have a lot of space dedicated to that. So that's a big push for them. Unfortunately, they're not letting anybody actually test drive.
I got to test drive it.
Did you?
Yeah. Dieter and I.
Goes to show.
Well, when you go to a WebOS area with Dieter Bone, like the
Yeah.
C's part,
Yeah,
and
that's
like
true.
former employees show up and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they anoint him a little bit. You know, it's very nice.
John Rubinstein appears from
and he's
behind.
like,
a
Dieter,
panel.
Dietrich Bone. And it's like amazing. No, I mean, we played with it a
His
little.
name is just Dieter, I think, isn't it? I don't think it's longer. If only we had somebody we could ask. Anyhow, go on. Maybe it is longer.
Well, no, I mean, I have a smart TV. We've seen them for years, and they're not very smart. They suck.
No.
The interface is awful. I mean, even Apple TV, for all of its Appleness, isn't that great
Yeah.
to get around
terrible.
on that tiny little remote.
Right.
And the motion sensing is pretty interesting. You know, being able to point
I
at
hate
things.
the motion sensing.
Yeah, I mean, they told me that there's so much RF interference there that the Bluetooth is jittery, but
Yeah.
I kind of don't believe
Well, that's what I want to. I mean, I'm hopeful that it. I mean, it looks really nice, and it looks very simple.
Yeah.
And I like what they did with the UX, the elements.
I don't think that this wavy thing with there's something about it that's
teardrop.
cool and interesting, and like the WebOS interface is cool, but that's just the Netflix interface.
Yeah, that looks
And,
like
you
the
know,
Netflix.
yeah, I'm
no,
happy
Xbox
using the
One.
Netflix interface with the D-pad. That interface is optimized for a D-pad. It's not optimized for a weird Bluetooth mouse.
Well,
Right, like,
but comparatively to, I mean, I think what works here is that they have a platform. We talked about this, but they have a platform. They have a design. They have an aesthetic, and they apparently are at least trying to push some guidelines to partners.
yeah, but Netflix is the only one that's important is Netflix, and that list, right? I mean, like,
Well, I don't know.
have you ever used Voodoo?
I have actually. I have used Voodoo,
And
I've
good,
used,
they're HDX, higher quality.
I
but-
use Amazon a lot, and I use Hulu. I mean, I use Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
I would say.
But
So
all those apps are, I mean, that's the thing you complain
they're
about.
going to be all. You know, that's the problem. That is the
And
fundamental problem.
their whole thing, you know, and they told
not-
us.
they're not-
We
they're not-
interviewed the designer, and they were like, you know, we believe in openness. We're going to have some standards. People can use them, but really, we want HTML5 apps to be the way of the future.
Right.
And like that's.
Which is the advantage of WebOS is HTML5. Like it's.
But
really
everybody, Samsung's backend is HTML5. Vizio's backend, Sony's like, they know that like these companies aren't good at software.
Right.
That's
I'm-
why.
but
That's
I
why
gotta
they're
say,
all partnering.
I think I
with
said this
software
on like day 2, but I'm so sick of talking about smart TVs.
And we keep
I
doing
mean,
it.
that's the thing about WebOS. It's like, oh, that is the nostalgic. Like I was looking at my old Palm pre-review and remembering the year that we came here and they announced the pre, and it was so exciting. WebOS on an LG TV is not that. You know, it's
Yeah.
like it does kind of ping my nostalgic bone or whatever. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It's just like a smart TV that I don't want to buy. It's an LG TV that I have no plans to buy. You know, and like no amount of cool interface will get me to buy a TV that I didn't want in the first place.
Most of what you're going to do is turn it on, turn to your cable box, make the interface go away. And
Probably, yeah. I mean, like it's not such a huge leap over the Roku, really. That you know what I mean? Like I guess if you're in the market and you need a TV and you're looking at smart TVs and you think picture quality is not that big of a deal or like it's all about the same. They make decent TVs. No, they're fine. And you're like, okay, I'm just looking for a really decent TV with a great interface. Like this is a good option, but I think it's a really small segment of the audience.
Yeah.
I just don't think people think like that. People aren't buying smart TVs for smart TV functions. I mean, not that I've seen.
But that's what's unfortunate
They're
about the show is that like the WebOS TV, which I don't really want. I'm just, I would like to see it succeed.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of one of my top picks. There just isn't that much low-hanging fruit to choose from.
It's
just more of the same.
I will say that we tried the Oculus Crystal Cove yesterday, and that was so incredible.
Have we run the video? Have we put up the standalone video of that yet?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it.
Do you want to see it? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Can we watch it? Do you guys have that available? Because we showed it in the morning, but maybe not everybody's seen it. Can you maybe try to get? I'm going to see if they can get it up because it's actually kind of fun to watch, like everybody's reaction to it.
I know Addy said it was fantastic.
I said this last night, but like there was a moment when I saw my own hands and I was like, what are those doing there? Which is like to see your body and not understand it.
I expected to be less impressed.
In Amsterdam,
you're used to that.
Well, no.
When you're high on weed.
This is the regrettable thing about what I do at the show is I'm mostly like running the news organization.
Is this it? Yeah. Let's take a look at this. This is the video that we did of everybody.
That's just me and Thomas.
That's not it.
You're in a virtual reality right now.
Yeah, look how realistic this is.
It's like I can look around him.
Can we run that? Or no? I don't know why I'm looking at you. I have you in my headset. Okay, here it is. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God, what's happening?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What the hell?
Oh, this is, I have to say, I'm not able to do words right now.
Holy crap. Wait. Wait a minute. What the fuck?
So I want you to hold still for 1 second while I tell it to you. Look straight forward. Now you can Oculus face all you want. Look up. In front of you.
This is not good. I'm totally hungover. And
This is stupid.
This is like Hanukkah. I'm sorry I'm so giggly. It's just...
Whoa. This is like being hugged by a video game.
these guys are really cool. Got big bellies.
Ooh. Could you put them together?
I really want to pick these guys up, but I can't.
This is very disorienting because I can see my hand, and it's like, I want to kill it.
Ooh. Squashing guys.
Wait, so how do I kill this thing?
Okay, I killed someone. You guys saw that, right?
Okay, I just want to kill things. Is anyone dead yet? Oh, he's dead.
I can shoot them? Oh, I got one. I got that guy.
Dude. Oh, that's a table.
Oh! Okay, there's a table there.
This is amazing, and I never want to take it off. I mean, I'm not going to take it off.
Oh, I don't want to leave.
This is the best thing. No.
I feel amazing right now. I really don't want you to take this off of me.
Welcome back to Vegas.
Yeah, I hear this.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So the interesting thing about this, I said it on the morning show on the first, but The interesting thing is, like, I expected to not be as impressed because I've already seen it a bunch of times. And the stuff they've done where they fix like the timing and the
It's a higher resolution now, right?
higher resolution. They fixed. I mean, you can still see pixels, but it's higher resolution. They fixed some of the latency issues. They're getting that a lot faster. And now it has positional tracking in addition to like the motion sensing. And it's pretty crazy. Like that cave. The thing. So here's what's interesting. That demo they showed was a seated demo where you're not moving around. What was most interesting about it was when you turned around
was all the
and
way
there was like
behind
a
you.
cave like way far away, and you felt like you were looking back down this crazy corridor. I mean, it was really insane. It feels insane. It feels like you are in another place.
I'm so jealous. I didn't even know you guys did this. This is the first I've seen of this.
You blew it. I don't know. I think you were off. You were getting
one of the
high or
events.
something.
No.
You were like, I got to go get my gravity bong. And
No, I think you were just out of the trailer. I think you were off doing stuff.
it was 4:20 at the time. The clock struck
4:20,
4:20.
coincidentally.
Clock struck 4:20, and is it 4:20 right now? No, it's not.
I mean, would you guys buy one of these?
Yes.
You would?
What?
Not yet.
I would buy it.
What about with that running treadmill?
No, I would buy it.
The Ellis.
The Ellis thing, yeah.
So Ellis did this thing on the running treadmill,
buy
which is
an
basically an
Edge
Oculus and a treadmill that you run on.
Yeah.
And he was like, he came back, and I saw him, and I was like, whoa, buddy, did you go out last night? And he's like, no. I did a virtual reality thing, and it was too real. And he just like drifted in a super nauseated state around the trailer for a while.
I mean, I get very nauseous with the dev version. Its latency is much higher, and it makes people more. This is the Vergecast
Yeah, that's
Omni.
I mean, this looks crazy to
This
me.
thing is cool though. They said they're going to sell this for like $400.
Yeah, this is the second generation,
Well,
because
but you
Paul
need-
did one.
Paul did one last
about a
year.
But it
year
looks
ago.
like they've really improved the walk-in.
Yeah, it's much
Right.
better.
Like this is nuts.
I mean, this looks terrifying.
I mean, imagine the higher resolution, low or zero latency, and
Right.
this thing with that. We saw this thing, this Prio VR,
Yeah.
which is you wear kind of like a chest thing and an
Right.
arm thing. Imagine you
but
got
can we
that
really
on.
not figure anything better to do than kill stuff in these games? Like,
Well, no, that's the next step. It's actually I was talking to the Oculus guys, and Addy was talking to them. We had several conversations, but Paul Merlucky from Oculus was saying, the controller is now the problem. Because when you get into it, and you saw, by the way, in that video, everybody was going like this.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, when you're in there, you want to
want
interact the way you
tactile,
interact with the real world. You want to be able to touch things, and like you can't do it. And I actually think Oculus, I wouldn't be surprised if we see them start to work on some thing that is like your hands are now
Right.
like part of the simulation.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the next step, because it's just like we are just like killing things. It's like,
Right.
oh, you're in there with a gun, like that's cool, but it's like one thing you can do, and you don't want to be doing it all the time. We're definitely at the beginning of real, like, crazy virtual reality stuff. Like, it's happening now.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's not going to not happen. I think that there's interest. I think that it's cheap enough to do. I think there's huge consumer interest. I think that the graphics are good enough
Right.
that they feel realistic.
and they did that thing. The screen is still not as great as I'd want it to be.
Yeah.
But they did that persistence display where they're repainting the screen like all at once.
Yeah.
I think they're using OLED to do it.
Yeah.
And it's actually a lot better. than
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
There's
before.
there's less tearing.
Yeah.
There's no motion blur.
That's the thing, and I should just write this. This should be my end of CS.
Just write it.
Really, right? But that's a thing where it does have a really high. You have to like wear a virtual reality headset and have a computer and like understand what you're going to do. But the experience is so great. The benefit of it is like,
this
amazing.
is the cost.
And like, but like those are all like high. Like, you have to wear a thing.
Yeah.
In your head. It has
Well,
to be tuned and,
that's really the ultimate, is like, how do you sell it to consumers?
Right.
How do you get consumers to want it?
I think I probably said this. I've said this a few times. They need to figure out how to make movies for that thing, where like it's a murder mystery and you like walk around a house.
No,
and,
I mean,
like,
imagine.
It's Clue. Like imagine like
that.
Oculus Clue.
Yeah, or that you can say like,
Hashtag
I want to be in this character's head for half the movie,
Right.
And then I want to switch to another character.
They should really bring back. I don't know if you're listening to me, Palmer, and you should definitely shoot Clue, the movie Clue for the Oculus Rift.
Yeah,
and you can run around the house
with a lot of different endings.
Yeah, I mean that movie was great. First
One of
of
the
all.
best. One of the
You
best
should
movies
watch
of all
it.
time.
Yeah, but you should shoot it, and that should be like an Oculus release thing that you do.
You should do an Oculus Vergecast
Where you can
go
just walk
inside.
around us.
Here's a scene from Clue. So,
Yeah.
by the way, is Christopher Lloyd in Clue?
Yes.
Christopher Lloyd is in Clue, and I don't want to say there's some magical stuff happening, but we just saw Christopher Lloyd recently
Yeah.
playing the role of Doc Brown, shilling for Gibson.
Here's what I'm mostly disturbed about. We were so quickly able to bring up Clue.
I know.
But our own content.
I know,
actually
yeah,
took
we're like,
longer.
give us a minute, but Clue we got on tap, no problem.
John's like, oh, I was just watching Clue.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that. So let's get real, though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Verge at CES. What are you working right now? I'm sorry, are you too busy to spend an hour with us? I'm fucking dying.
Are you still
okay?
talking?
Yeah.
Can we just get it out there? This may be my last ever Vergecast.
This may be my last day on Earth.
This could be my last day, and I'm. You know what? I don't regret a thing except not doing a ton of drugs. That's the one thing I regret.
Well, it's not even true because I took a photo of a stack of drugs sitting by your
I did have
desk
some
yesterday.
super awesome NyQuil. I took NyQuil last night at midnight, but it didn't kick in until like when I was sleeping. And I woke up and then it kicked in. And now I've just felt like a complete maniac all day, which is different than how I normally feel, in case you're wondering. Here's the thing about CES time and why I like it, why I think it's the most magical time of the year.
Yeah.
First off, it comes after the second most magical time of the year, Xmas. and here's the thing about CES. You know, everybody complains about CES. I'm just like, this chair is just hopelessly drifting. Like, I don't know what's going on.
CES.
Did you oil the floor here? Did you lubricate? Is there lube on the floor? What's happening? I just get crazy in here. Anyhow, as I was saying before, my lubed chair rolled towards ecstasy. What was I saying?
I don't know, but
The Verge. Okay, everybody hates CES. Everybody who comes here, all the journalists are like, oh, God. And, you know, I think we feel the same way in some way. We don't hate CES, but we're like, the holidays just ended. We just did New Year's. We had a crazy year. November is always crazy. You know, like the fall is insane. And then you're like now in 6 days, I have to fly to Las Vegas, which is, you know, I'm sorry for people who live in Las Vegas. It's a terrible place to be. I mean, it's one of the worst places I've ever been. I'm not saying the people here are bad. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
But as a city, it's fucked up.
it's bizarre.
It is really bizarre.
Everything's augmented.
It is. Everything is augmented.
Everything.
And it is just really, it's like dry. We're in the desert. There's like blood coming out of my nose
I've
every
seen
night.
so many people with nose
No,
bleeds.
Stephen Greenwood was like, had a picture in our
Josh
video
Greenwood?
chat room, and he was like, I got to go take care of this. And it was like his sink covered in blood because he was like having massive nosebleeds, which I hope he's okay. Is he okay? We don't know. We lost Greenwood.
So you saw all that blood and you just went about your business?
We lost Greenwood, unfortunately. Rip Stephen. But
Rip Stephen.
but you know, but Vegas is insane. There's like hookers everywhere. There's people handing you.
Are there?
I mean, I think. I don't know.
Tom Warren saved somebody's life today.
Yeah,
Tom
can
Warren.
you tell me this
Wait,
story?
yeah, what happened? Tom
The
Warren
hell happened?
apparently.
I don't know if I know all the details, but
Make them up.
Just, yeah, I guess we can invent
it's the
them. It's the Vergecast. You don't
apparently
have to
they were walking
Wait, hold on. Wait.
towards the.
Can I just say, like, this looks like Charlie. He's like a Charlie Rose guest. Can you go back to Thomas's? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like straight up Charlie Rose right here. It's so good. Sorry, not unrelated to everything. Go on.
So apparently they were walking. We're not too far from the hotel. I mean, everyone's
So let's not dox our hotel.
Okay,
I don't need to.
We're close
stalkers.
enough. Everybody
I don't
walk.
need stalkers coming in there and raping me to death. Because that's what they'll do to me.
Yeah.
Or so the threatening letters I've received have said.
So they're coming back. They're coming in this morning, and they saw somebody that was crawling on the ground. I think they also saw him last night, and a couple of them struck up a conversation. Well, he was trying to strike up a conversation with our team.
Crawling on the ground.
Crawling on the ground, like looking for things. And he looked up at Tom and said something about, you think I'm crazy, don't you? And Tom was like, well, And of course, Amar.
Oh, I remember this story.
He walked over to him and started striking up a conversation.
That's Amar. He
He's
can't
like,
help
hey, dude,
it.
what's
Are you
going
the
on?
weirdest thing here? I'm going to talk to you. Like,
He's like, what? He was saying something like, I've got the secret. And Amar's, what's the secret? He goes, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. And so, oh
my God, I would like to know.
He's writing, he's doing profiles of people that are here. Yeah. So it turns out, I don't know how they found out, but they saw a missing persons ad, and this guy is a missing person.
oh my God.
Did he come
what?
to the
How
show?
did they see the ad?
Did he come to
These are the details I
CES?
don't know. I don't know.
Is he an attendee?
I don't know. I don't know all the details.
Okay.
I don't know all the details. But anyway, so Tom saw that and he called up the number, and indeed, like his wife was looking for him. He had missed a flight. He got some kind of bad acid trip. I don't know what was going on. And
What?
Yeah, he was seriously.
Is this really
freaked out.
happened?
Yeah, they picked him up, and he's
Like the cops
safe.
came? Or
Yeah,
like-
they came and picked him. Well, I don't know if it was the
Wow.
cops, but somebody came and picked him up.
That
Wow.
is crazy. We should write about that.
CES 2014.
We should write about that. I think people would like to hear the whole story from
I would like to
Tom
hear it
and
still.
Amr.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
still like to hear it.
Let's see if we can get them to do that.
Yeah, I would like to know the
Not that
details.
I don't want to dox anybody, but that's a really interesting story.
I think so.
I'd read 1,000 words on that. I mean, although you just heard the story now, just pretend you didn't hear it if you see it on the site tomorrow.
I made up half of it. So
There you go. Vegas.
Yeah.
What happens? What happens in Vegas?
It
wasn't even a guy.
What happens in Vegas is disturbing. So anyhow, so then, it's just a weird town.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of weird Vegas.
No, we're usually kind of just trapped here. But even within the confines of the convention center in our hotel, which is very close, you do see the little tendrils, the little threads. I did spend a little time talking to people on the Strip. I wasn't there physically. It's a long story, but I did speak to some people on the Strip, and pretty interesting what people will admit to you here in Vegas. Like if you casually ask them if they're going to do cocaine tonight, at least 50% of the people who are talking to you at the time will say yes, which I think is great. But yeah, anyhow, it's a weird town. I'm making a point here, and the show can be very stressful, as we discussed earlier, and the food is bad. Not for lack of trying, but the food that they serve to you every day in the trailer is not very good or healthy or delicious. I do like the breakfast, though, actually. I really enjoy those.
Yeah, but every day the place smells like bacon.
Yeah.
And then it smells like man later in the day, and then it's whiskey plus man.
And then Whiskey Man, the greatest superhero ever, who just drunkenly wanders in somewhere and punches someone.
And fights you with bacon.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, take this, and it just cramps the bacon in your mouth. You're like, I will take this. Anyhow, so that's somebody please make a comic strip that is that sequence of events. Whiskey Man with the bacon. I will take. Okay. Yeah. But the Verge. No, I'm getting my point. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time for this. But what's amazing about CES? First off, what's amazing about CES? Let's just say the show can often be disappointing, in places, but it's also often exciting and interesting and fascinating. Now, there were fewer exciting, interesting, fascinating things this year than I think last year.
Yeah.
It's weird. I've talked to other people and they feel like it's reversed, that this was a more exciting year. But there were some very cool things here. We saw some stuff that I think got us pretty excited. We saw some things that got us pretty bummed and we're like, yeah, that's lame. But what's amazing about this is that we get the entire Verge team. Almost every writer. There's some people who couldn't make it for various reasons, some people that are just kind of hung back, but the majority of the team, vast majority, in one room with our video team, with our product team, and everybody's like in one big room for a week straight. And
we do some of the most interesting work that we ever do because we're all together.
We do really interesting work,
and everything is over here.
Because we're having conversations in real time about stories that are breaking. We're like swapping ideas. But like I think what's most amazing and interesting and is always to me like the most like awesome thing is that there's a bunch of people in the trailer. There's like 50, 60, however many people now, like with everybody who's in the video, and there's PAs and there's all these. And I like all of them a lot. Like I really like hanging out with them, and like every night, like I don't want to leave. Like I've been sick this whole week, and people start to kind of wind down, and you get like everybody's having a drink, and I've been feeling like shit. I'm just like I have to go. I feel so terrible. I'm out of here. And then like I want to stay. Like I end up staying later because I just want to hang out with the people who are there. What's amazing to me is that we have a team full of like brilliant, incredible, fascinating, funny people. And like I like every one of them, and I hope that they like me, but I think that we all like each other, which is extremely rare, I feel, in a business of our size.
For me, it is. I mean, I've worked in big accounting firms. I used to be in ITs, like giant corporations, small startups, and I've always just tolerated. I hope nobody's watching. Now I had a few friends. I should say. In my previous job.
Fortune 500.
But mostly it was just a constant, chronic toleration of the people around me.
Yeah.
And this is, especially when there were team events, like something planned in the evening, you had to do something, and like I remember one time we had to fly a whole group of people for team building, and you had to do these human knots. Have you ever done this? You have to, everybody hold hands.
This is why we like each other, because nobody forces anybody to do a human knot.
No, we're doing that later.
It's unbelievable.
I've been trying to tie myself
into human knots.
No, look, I spent a lot of time last night trying to tie myself into a human knot.
Oh my God.
It got deep. It got weird.
It's getting weird in here, actually.
But we don't have that. I mean, we are all good friends, and it doesn't matter who you end up sitting next to or whatever. I mean, there's just a lot of commonality.
Yeah, and like the people here aren't like, oh man, I got to get out of work and go party somewhere. It's like, where is everybody going? Like when people are talking about like going drinking, it's like a group activity. Last night, like Ben and Sam and a bunch of other people like ended up in the hot tub at our hotel, which is never in all the years we've been staying at this hotel, which is like 7 years or something.
Nobody's used the pool.
Nobody's ever touched it. And Ben Popper was like, we're doing the hot tub tonight. We're going, we're getting in. Long day at work. It was like 11, 10 o'clock at night or something.
Yeah.
And they went over there, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. Like nobody's getting in the hot tub. And sure enough, we have a photo of it. Sure enough, a bunch of dudes in a hot tub.
What?
Oh, you didn't see this?
No.
Are you kidding me? There they are. Can we zoom in on that?
I thought this was code for smoking weed the entire time.
Oh, I'm sure they were smoking weed.
No, they went
Thomas provided from Amsterdam.
Guys, seriously, I'm just saying out loud. When they were like, "Do you want to come get in the hot tub with me?"
You thought it was
I thought
like
it was
a
like a wink, wink.
euphemism.
We're gonna like hotbox Ben's room.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they actually stripped down and got into a goddamn hot tub.
they got into the.
I don't even like. I don't know if I'm disappointed by that or happy about that.
I was frankly touched.
Like I can't. I'm trying to. What feeling am I having?
And they're photographing each other. I think it's perfectly normal.
I think it seems completely normal and well within our standards of business conduct. But like I think that to me is.
I mean, I'm okay to make that exception.
If CES,
it's like paragraph like subparagraph 6, paragraph 5, sub C. You may get into a hot tub at CES with bros.
And take pictures of each other.
Bros may photograph in hot tubs in Vegas. I'm gonna print that out.
If CES was a complete bust?
Yeah.
And there wasn't a single thing here that was interesting, and it was just a 5 days of working our asses off and not coming up with anything good on the work side. Like it would still be worth it to me to have this. Yeah. To have this time to like actually hang out with the people that I work with who I don't get to see all the time because you're in Europe and there's people all over the place and we're all very busy out doing things. Like even the people who are in New York are not are rarely all in the office at the same time. And that is what makes CES kind of awesome regardless of what the show's like. Yeah. And if we find something cool at the show, that's like a bonus to us. And I think that I guess like when you see these things where people are like tech is dead and this CES this this show does kind of suck. Like make no mistake about it.
I was on the show floor a lot yesterday actually, and which was unique for me. I got to see a bunch of things, but I also saw a bunch of like other tech reporters, and everyone's like, "I hate it here," and I was like, my reaction is, "I love it here." Yeah. It's really weird. Like,
but we've also set it up so we can love it. I mean,
our stress levels are
we
low.
equip people with the right equipment. I mean, everybody has the right equipment to do their jobs. We give them accommodations that are close enough and comfortable enough that you can get some rest when you do have downtime. Yeah. We provide the vehicles to get us the transportation around because transportation in Vegas is impossible.
And food.
And food. And
like we're very well taken care of. I mean, we have people here like Michael Shane and Leah are like, just there are people here who are bending over backwards to make this team feel like healthy and be fed and all. I mean, there's a huge amount of people and and we'll make a list. We will do a post of like a wrap-up post and you will see these people and we'll make a list of these people. Yeah. Yes, like that's the thing. Like you don't stress out about like how am I getting to this event or what am I eating. And I will say like it is a luxury. We didn't. It wasn't always like this. I mean, at Engadget, when we started this. I mean, the first one that I went. First off, the first one that we went to when I was at Engadget.
We weren't even.
We were at a hotel far away. We were like literally taking cabs and I think maybe a couple people rented cars and you're driving these long distances back and forth every time you had to go somewhere, every time you had to go to the show floor. There was no food provided. It was like, you know what I mean? It was a mess. And we've like worked at this for many, many years.
We're very
to figure out how to
practiced.
do it.
Yeah.
And also, like I think that our attitude now when we come here is, the Verge has to do like the Verge at CES, and the pressure of there used to be this enormous pressure of like, do we have every embargo? Are we hitting every little piece of news? Do we have every router? When we were at Engadget, it was like very gadget focused. It was very much like, do we have every little piece of PR? How are we hitting every piece of news? And I think having done this now for what is this, the third year doing it at The Verge? Like we just have learned like The Verge has a pace and we've got things we want to do and stories we want to tell and it's a different rhythm. Yeah. And that I think is also a stress reliever. There are moments, I will say there are moments.
I mean, and the show's it's like we've gotten much bigger and the show's gotten smaller.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, they'll tell you it's been record.
We've made it smaller. I mean, we've become more focused. So, yeah, it's another record year. I saw the press release come out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
When is it not?
Every year it's a record.
Like Gary Shapiro has he's got like a warehouse full of people just waiting to storm CES.
It's like
so it can be another record.
They're everywhere.
They're in some sort of hyperbaric chamber waiting to be unfrozen.
I need 10,000 clones. we're 5,000 under, send in clones.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't. He's talking to his
Wouldn't it be
Galaxy
easier
Gear.
just to like fake the numbers?
He would have a go.
Wait, who's the auditing firm that's checking? Like, actually, Shapiro, I take issue with this. I'd like to see your books. Like, nobody's looking. Nobody. But you're right that we have also it. Whatever the records are, whatever the numbers are, we've made it smaller by doing that. And so like, yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I guess I was just talking about how the show feels to us, and I'm going to be like tired and battered, and I already feel like completely drained. But it's been great, and like we do have tense moments, we do have real work to do, but I feel like, especially when everybody's in the same room and on the same wavelength, doing that work is so much more fun and so much easier.
Yeah.
And it's just a very cool experience.
And the team, I mean, obviously we're, well, not obviously, but we're the management, or part of the management team. But the team is pretty much runs itself at this point. I mean, we have, I think Jake, this is his first year as a writer here.
Yeah, he was here last year as an intern,
So he volunteered to do an early morning shift one day, or no, early morning.
For us, early morning here is 5 a.m.
And he still came in at the same hour as everybody else, you know, even after finishing. And we were saying, you know, you were allowed to take some time off. He's like, yeah, but everybody else is in here, so I felt like I should be here.
It's awesome, and people do work their asses off, and it's so incredible to see how much. I mean, as for me, like I've gone gradually, and I think Nilay has, and you have too. We used to be like in the trenches, and we've gradually, as the team has grown and we've taken on leadership stuff, that it's like you don't do the writing anymore.
Yeah, and I miss it. You know?
Yeah, and I actually have written a few things here, and it's been awesome.
The only things I write about are angry editorials.
Yeah, but you know what's great about, see, this is actually, it's like a weird vacation from like the stuff we have to do during, like, it's weird to call it a vacation, but it is like, we break from the things we have to do, and you can write the editorial because we're sitting there and we're like, let's just do it right now.
Yeah.
I wrote that like Michael Bay post in a second because everybody in the room was like, just write it.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, let's just do it, you know, and it's stuff like that happens, and it's actually really fun. Like I did that I wrote thing. I wouldn't have been able to find time to do that in New York because we're so just constantly doing like real work.
Yeah.
And that's really awesome. And I should say, like, the other thing that's really cool about this show is obviously our team and the way we feel, but the fact that like we're doing this and we've done these every day.
Yeah.
We did first every day, and we did these like, we did live stuff. We've had a ton of interviews in here that are live. We did the recaps. Like we get to interact with our readership.
We get to interact with the readership, and also like we get to bring the industry in front of people.
Yeah.
And like ask them questions.
Yeah.
And like live with our readers. I mean, like we do most of our interviews live, and people look at Twitter and we take questions. Like that's cool. Like that's why I like it here.
Yeah, I mean, it is really like a visceral sort of like, this stuff is happening at this moment. You know, like people are reacting. Like we're sitting here doing this every day. People are reacting to it in real time, and then the next day we're like talking about that stuff or thinking about it, or sometimes like even during the show. It's just cool. And like obviously, I mean, it goes without saying. Maybe it doesn't go without saying, but like our audience is big. It's much bigger than I ever expected it to be after 2 years of being in business. And at CES, it just like surges.
Yeah.
And you know, we've had some really big days, and the audience has come, and people are like reading these stories, they're commenting on them, people are like posting stuff in the forums, and you know, it's just great to just see it all working.
Yeah.
It's sort of amazing, you know, after launching this 2 years ago, I feel like I do this every once in a while where I start to get a little romantic.
A little misty.
A little misty. But you know, after launch, you know, we launched this and it was like not a sure thing.
No.
Yeah, just to say, like 2
And
years
our
ago.
first year here was a disaster.
What's funny is, it was a little
It was
bit
a
of a
sequence of
Started bad,
disasters.
Yeah, it started bad, but we got good. We got better fast.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, like, you see, like, you know, Walton Kara just launched Recode. Yahoo Tech just is like launched. David Pogue has his new thing.
sputtering
I'm not
into the
going to say
wind.
anything about it anymore, but you know, I think you know how I feel. You know, all of a sudden, like everybody's like launching these like new tech sites and these new brands, but a couple of years ago, it was like, why would anybody do that? Who cares about that? And
everybody
weren't
thought the market was saturated.
You're right. They thought the market was saturated, and we didn't know that this was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
This could have been a complete disaster, and it has not been. And that makes me feel very good and very happy, and I'm very proud and pleased to work with the team that we have, because they're awesome people. And they're not just awesome like writers or reporters. They're awesome human beings that I enjoy spending time with. They're legitimately cool people.
Yeah.
And they're weird and funny and
Uncoordinated
sometimes.
Is that happening?
Thomas has just been dying for Sam Byford, who's a lovely man, by the way, a lovely gentleman.
He's the best man in Japan.
All he wants. Sam has.
I mean, it is really true.
Sam Byford.
He's just a very tall person.
Sam Byford is a lanky dude. He lives in Japan, And
his arms are sewn on with yarn.
he has a tendency to. I think we might have had a supercut or something of it last year, but he's a tendency when he gets near things that move to fall.
He has a
or
tendency
crash.
to fall.
He fell down in his living room. He was just standing there and he
Oh, yeah,
fell.
here he is. Is this the clip? I don't know. Do we have audio?
Which one is this? Oh, this is classic Sam.
Yeah, this is.
So this is what we wanted to repeat.
Well, we hope that he would get on something moving.
So we've been putting him in precarious situations all week.
A little bit. There you go. There you go. Good. Not too fast.
I'll take CSI.
SVU.
At the end of this clip, Sam dies, and we find out why.
I'm getting off right now.
Yeah, and he's getting off right now.
We put him on even faster.
Those old
more
graphics
dangerous.
are nice, man. I forgot what our old graphics look like. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Totally like a distant memory. We have new graphics this year, which are all glitchy, which I really dig. So yeah, you've been trying to put Sam Byford in a precarious position.
Increasingly dangerous.
Which I think is wrong and rude.
But
he did fall off the curb last night when we were walking.
Randomly on his own, Ben Popper has just been hurting himself throughout CS.
No, Ben
You had a
Popper.
video of him getting tased.
Ben Popper tased himself.
He got punched.
He got punched dead.
Yeah.
And then he got into a hot tub with Sam Sheffer. So who knows?
Can we get the video? Do you have the
Which
video
is
of
the
Ben
most
getting
dangerous move
tased?
of
We have the video of him tasing himself.
It's the best. And then there's a video of him getting punched.
There was
in
a
the face.
discussion at some point of the headline being "Don't take
I mean, there's
myself,
just this
bro."
picture of Carl just socking.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is Ben. I mean, the guy who put a magnet in his
I mean,
finger.
Ben, he's also an MMA guy.
Also.
Like,
He loves
trains
fighting.
in MMA,
He loves
yeah.
getting injured.
He loves getting injured.
He's like,
Do you see his eye twitch? His eye twitches.
Yeah, you can't hear him there. But he's like, it works. It definitely works. It definitely works. Anyhow, yeah, but anyway, we have an amazing team, and they've just done amazing stuff, and we've got more to come. We actually have a few things that are going to go up tomorrow.
We've got some big things tomorrow.
We have a defining
Story
CS
of the show.
defining piece, and we also have Verge Awards.
Yeah.
Which are going up tomorrow, where we
I gotta take this out.
you just get it out, just take it out.
It's done.
Where we pick who we think was the most impressive, exciting, and interesting stuff of the year, and it's going to be a great time.
Have you given away your picks yet?
My what?
Have you given away your picks for
I haven't-
tops?
Oh, have I for top things?
Yeah, have you said?
Last night we talked about them a little bit. I was pretty vague. I'm actually like honestly.
Well, so here's the thing. So we have to decide whether we're going to do best laptop.
Yeah.
Right? And it's
Do
hard. Tom ran a report.
Is there a best laptop?
This is a little
here? I
bit.
don't know.
We should
Is
just
there-
talk about
I
this
can
a
only
little
remember
bit.
two.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's not many. But Tom actually just put up.
Yeah.
He just put up a report called Microsoft and its platforms are nowhere to be found, right? And it's true. There's just no Windows here. Like if this CS is a show of sensors and things that connect to your phone and to your mobile devices, or make your phone smarter in some way, or extend your phone onto other screens, none of that stuff is running Windows as far as I can tell, or Windows
true.
Phone or Windows RT. And it's just kind of like Microsoft's here. They got a bunch of meeting rooms booked. Right, the VPs are here, the senior leadership is here.
Yeah.
But their platform is nowhere here. And I don't know how we're going to give away best laptop.
I don't know that we will.
It's like
a
minor spec bump.
That's the nice. You talked about. I think you talked about
this.
this last night. But the nice thing about doing your own your own awards, like last year, we did. The categories that we chose are based on what actually was happening. So it wasn't like we were locked into these static categories. And I think we'll do the same thing this year. But yeah, I mean that's tomorrow, and then we're done really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Friday we'll probably have a few things that trickle out because there's always a few things. But God, I'm exhausted. I'm sorry by the way if I've been sniffling. I have a little bit. I'm so congested. It's out of control. This is the first time I've ever been sick at CES in my memory. Have you ever gotten sick here?
Yeah, I've had problems.
What kind of problems?
I don't want to discuss them. Dirty, awful problems.
Dirty problems.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Nilay, have you ever been sick here?
No, I always get sick right afterwards.
Oh yeah.
That's
what happened to me last year.
afterwards is bad.
Because your body is just brutalized.
Oh yeah, I mean Becky has a complete, now it's years later, so she's got a whole. She's she gets ready for me to leave. She plans a whole week of things she can do alone, and then she plans a whole week of avoiding the house because I'm in it sick.
Yeah.
So it's seriously 2 weeks where she's just annoyed with me.
Well, I haven't gotten a flu shot, and apparently I'm told that I have to get a flu shot before I go home.
Yeah.
Laura was like, Don't come back if you don't have a flu shot.
Don't come back.
I can't get a flu shot. They once told me I went in to get one and they said I couldn't.
Because you're a foreigner.
No, I'm allergic to feathers.
What?
A lot of silence there.
What do you mean allergic to feathers?
That's what they told me. They said, do you have any allergies? I said, I'm allergic to feathers. And they said, go away. They told me to go away.
What do you mean you're allergic
This is like
to feathers?
20 years ago.
I don't
What kind of
understand.
feathers?
What do you mean, what kind of feathers?
How do you
Not all feathers are the same. Like that it seems like a really obvious point.
I don't know
Like,
that much about feathers.
Well, clearly.
there are different kinds of
Feathers,
birds.
I don't know. Feathers in pillows and
So you can't use like a
duvets.
down. You can't use like a down pillow.
No.
What happens?
I get like red and watery
Bad,
and
dirty problems.
sniffles. Maybe there's feathers around you. Maybe that's your problem.
You can be allergic to, oh man.
Right now, there's no feathers around me.
You don't know that.
Do you see any feathers around me?
You can't see behind you.
I think we have to wrap up.
It's done.
I
There's
think
no
we have to wrap.
feathers
There's
here.
really nothing to talk about at this point.
Look, this has been The Urge.
My sign is
CES
The Urge
2014.
is signing off from CES. Let's see, really
take
quickly.
some
We have a
Twitter
few minutes.
questions?
Let's take some Twitter questions. I was just going to say.
Tweet at me.
Twitter questions. Tweet at
Reckless.
Nilay. Tweet at Nilay at Reckless. Right now, we only have a couple of minutes. I see people in control room. They're getting real sweaty.
Yeah.
And not in the good way.
Not in the Sheffer way.
Not in the Sam Sheffer way.
So the reason we're in such a rush
What did you
is
say to
because
me? Unrelated?
we are right next to the Gibson tent, and they start throwing a rock concert.
Gibson's going to have a rave here in like 10
if-
minutes.
Yeah. That's what
And there's going to be
someone
a
just
guy.
tweeted me the werewolf picture.
Oh, yeah, werewolves.
Best werewolf of the show.
Were werewolves the story of the show? I mean, I don't think so, but there were a lot of werewolves
I
here.
completely disagree.
Yeah.
The Urge, man.
Yeah, that's great stuff. That's
People
good
that have
stuff.
questions.
By the way,
I
did you
got
notice the
tweets.
werewolf has my beard and glasses? That's something I noticed. I didn't see it at first. Can we get a full screen of that? But
Are you buying a Pebble?
by the way,
I want a pebble.
my body does look like this if I take my shirt off. It's exactly as muscular and hairy as I am. So,
So disturbing.
are those my
the
eyes?
questions.
No
There
questions
are
coming
lots of
in.
questions coming in.
What do you got?
Are you going to buy a Pebble?
Like buy a Pebble or the company?
Yeah, you're going to buy the company.
I'm gonna wait to see what the review says before I buy. I don't know. I really like analog watches. I'm not totally sold on the smartwatch as a thing, but my point about the Pebble was if I was going to buy one right now, that's probably the one I would buy because it looks the nicest in my opinion.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, what else you got?
Are we going clubbing tonight from
Yes.
Verge Coffee?
Definitely.
That's tomorrow and tonight.
You gotta be careful when you go clubbing with hot coffee, though. You don't want to spill any on your lap.
I don't know
what I'm
what kind
saying?
of
I
weird
think you know what I'm talking
sexual innuendo that
Don't
was.
spill hot coffee on your lap.
Was there anything that truly sucked?
Anything that truly sucked.
Well, there's a lot of things that truly suck that we don't write about.
Yeah, I mean, we ignore.
We try to shield our readers from that stuff as much as we
Yeah,
can.
like our gift to you, the reader, is that we don't want to waste your time with stuff that sucks. You want to read about the stuff that sucks, plenty of other websites you can go to check that out. The Verge, our goal is to deliver only the highest quality stuff to you.
Best keynote of the year.
Best keynote of this CES?
It's got to be.
Johnny Shee.
Well, Johnny Shear.
Think so?
Kaz.
I mean, Kaz was really great
Better than
because
Ledger?
we're used to his shtick now.
It's a shtick now,
We're
yeah.
used to his shtick.
By the way, he told us he was going to come in for an interview again today. Bailed.
Well, we don't know yet. Day's not done. Day's
no.
not done.
Yeah.
Day's not done.
But he told
Rest
Dan,
my case.
where are you guys located? I'll find you. Come in. We'd love to do it. Bailed.
Ledger. John Ledger.
Yeah.
Get over here right now. Do an interview with
Something's
us.
going on.
Don't dodge us. We're asking you to come. You said you would come. It's time to come. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to really prove that you're an Avenger, the Dark Knight? Swoop into our studio. Swoop into our
He-Man,
studio.
Bacon Man.
What?
Bacon Man. Bacon Beer Man?
Yeah.
Bacon
What is
Man.
he?
Show
No,
up with
no, Whiskey
you show
Man.
up here with whiskey and
Whiskey
bacon,
Man.
and we'll talk.
Bring some whiskey and get into our studio. Wait a second. What was the question? Was there a question? All right, let's go. What else do we have?
It was best keynote.
Best keynote. I think Johnny Shea was the. Just his
He's
like
fantastic.
this thing that he
His
does. Where
delivery
he's like,
is amazing.
that.
Yeah.
I want to just do something in life where I do. Oh my God, he's doing it right here.
Yeah.
Can we just see one? Can we get the audio?
You know what's amazing about this is like this is also
Every time we ask them to get audio, they're like, "Oh my God, the audio! We didn't know that was going to happen."
Mobile
There we go.
and affordable. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Asus Transformable Duet TD300. It is an Android laptop, a Windows laptop, a tablet,
And, you know,
and
the
an
thing about it
Android
is-
tablet. It is also the world's first and only Intel 4th generation core
Very
processor
great.
running genuine DOS. And now you can own it starting $5.99 US.
Yes.
Thank you.
Power.
Yeah, and then he gets
Isn't
applause
that
every time. He's great.
incredible?
Well, what we learned is that if you yell,
You get attention.
people will clap.
People will clap.
Loud
People will
people,
clap.
they don't know what to do. They're just.
Do it again. We can see more.
WQHD monitor. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce a complete lineup of Zenfone. Let's begin with the
This is like.
stylish and compact Zenfone 4.
I don't get this.
It has a 4-inch.
It's a cool. It's an interesting UI idea.
Do a price.
Camera, and comes with 5 vibrant colors, starting at $99 US.
Boom. Also, like the cameraman.
Next
does the
in line.
cameraman know to do that pull,
Oh,
the
yeah.
zoom back.
Yeah, the zoom back.
Designed to blend into
All right, that's enough of Johnny Sheen.
daily activity.
Great stuff. Very good stuff.
Somebody asked us who we think won the show, and I would say stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We
We're
got
gonna
a
have
big
a
idea
we have
tomorrow.
a very real, powerful answer for that. That'll be up very early tomorrow.
What else? Have you been gambling?
I gambled. I spent $2 on a slot machine when I got off the plane because Laura wanted me to for some reason that I don't really remember, and I lost immediately. Also, what is up with these slot machines? You can't work the arm; they just stop on their own. I'm getting back into the center of the frame. This is driving me crazy. No, it's okay. I got it. I already rolled over here. You don't even bother. Just have a seat. A real asshole. I don't mind rolling. I get to be closer.
Where's
whatever.
your sweater from?
Wait a second.
Yeah.
So that was it. The slot machine arms, you can't stop. They don't.
Yeah.
They just stop on their own. It's like this is not gambling. It's a random number generator.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sweaters from Lisbon.
Lisbon, the place?
Yeah, the city.
Well, that could be a company.
Oh, sorry.
Lisbon sweaters.
No.
All right. What else? What else do you have?
Uh,
They're great, really challenging questions.
Who's your rap?
Yeah. One more question. Make it good.
Were there any small companies that amazed you this year?
Ooh.
There's been a couple.
I feel like they're the same small companies that amazed us last year.
Yeah.
Like Oculus and Pebble.
Oculus and Pebble. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like really crazy, but I'm seeing a lot of. I think I hung out with the Nest guys yesterday. I'll put that video up a little bit
What
later.
is this shit?
It's an airplane.
You know what they should have done is put the convention center somewhere other than in the path of the airport,
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been convenient.
right?
Or at least let you jump out of a plane directly to convention.
Right into the CES.
Yeah. No, I think it's like there's a bunch of home automation stuff that's interesting.
That's not
I
great.
hung out with like the Nest guys.
Oh.
And
gotta
that
wrap.
company
We
has
gotta
gone
wrap.
from
Make it
0
quick.
to 1,000, right? And like now they have a fire truck and like driving around. But like Revolve, the Canary guys, that stuff is really interesting.
Yeah, Canary seems interesting.
Honeywell's coming for you.
Honeywell's coming
what
for
does
you.
that mean?
Yeah. Honeywell in
You have
Europe.
something?
Honeywell in Europe has a home automation system. That's
Okay.
actually pretty decent.
All right, we'll continue
You
that
wait.
on the Homecast where we talk
All
about
right.
home.
We got a lot more coming tomorrow, by the way.
There's a lot more coming tomorrow, including the Verge Awards, which you're going to want to check out. There's going to be some shocks and some surprises, and I think a relatively definitive, at least our definitive answer to who won CES. That's the Vergecast. We will be back presumably next week with like a regular Vergecast, and I'm not going to tell you how you can find us because if you're watching right now, you should know, and don't make me come over there. So that's it. We're done, and you have to go, and we have to go.
Don't you have to threaten somebody?
And as always, it's not a threat. It's just a fact that even though I'm gonna wish you and your family all the best, they're in the greatest danger they've ever been in, and nothing can stop.
By bombs coming from overhead.
Nothing can stop what's going to happen to you.
Rock and roll. Yeah.